Fanatical for Jesus coming to you real quick to make another video. I made this video last night, and I was planning on uploading it today, but I accidentally deleted it so I could make some room for my video about Hollywood's roadmap for Asian people. And I forgot to upload it before I deleted it. So here's me remaking this video. I want to talk a little bit about what it's like for me to be manic. Thankfully, I've only had a couple instances in my life where I've actually had a full-blown mania episode, knock on wood. But I've had a lot of experiences being hypomanic, and that's what I tend to vacillate between either depression or hypomania. Y'all know what it's like, what I go through when I'm depressed. I tend to isolate. I don't really talk to people. My phone's off. I get suicidal, or I used to cut. So I'm not. This video is not about depression, my depressive states. Now hypomanic. When I'm hypomanic, it feels like I'm literally on cloud 9 all the time. Like, I feel like I never want to come down off of it either. Like, I feel like I just have all the money in the world and I could go buy whatever I want to go buy. Like, I've actually gone broke or even in the negatives in my bank account a bunch of times because of that. I also do things like I don't just buy things for myself. I'll just buy things for other people just because. Like, they'll say, "What's this for?" Well, I don't know, just because I felt like buying you a gift. I saw this at the store and I thought you would like it. And the difference between like buying a gift for someone just because you want to, because saw something that you think they like, and being hypomanic is I will do that more frequently than I ought to. Like, I'll spend beyond my means. And yeah, like, I would also stay up I'd stay up like all night long, like for 3-4 days in a row with very little sleep. My speech would be like rambling. I'll be like talking nonstop. My thoughts would be racing like freaking like roadrunner speed. Like, it'd be really hard for me to think clearly because my thoughts are going so fast that it's hard for me to focus on something. Yeah, and I also engage in other high risk behaviors, like especially like sex. Like, I would like go and like when I was with my ex, or when I'm in a relationship and I'm hypomanic, that's all I want to do is just have sex all day, every day, all night long, every night, and multiple times too. Like, it wouldn't just be like we had sex and then we're done and we go about our business. No, it'd be we would have sex, we'd get done, and then like literally 5 to 10 minutes later, I want to have sex again, even if she's not, um, even if she's not ready. Like, sometimes my partner is ready, sometimes they're not, and I won't ever force myself onto them. But I do get upset if they say that they need to take a break, or like they're too tired or something. Um on the flip side of that, when I'm not hypomanic and I don't feel like having sex, I've also said that I didn't want to have sex, and my partner would get upset because she would want to. But that's besides the point. What else? When I'm hypomanic, I also tend to, my lust factor goes up really high, and I tend to look at a lot of porn. I tend to like lust after women that I see, and it's really bad. Another thing is I don't know, I tend to want to do multiple things all at the same time. Like, when I get hypomanic, like, and I get into the mood. When I get hypomanic, sometimes I get into the mood to do something like I want to clean the house. And not only will I stop at just doing the dishes, but I would end up wanting to clean up everything. Like, and no matter how long it took me, and I'll go through things like really quickly. What was another thing that I do? Oh, and then like when I have had my full blown manic episodes, I tend to get like really delusional, like grandiose delusions. Like just recently, I had a delusion where I thought that it was prophesied in the Bible for me to assassinate Donald Trump because Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and there was all that went with that. It's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't want to recap what happened there. I'm ashamed of my manic episodes. Another time I had when I was like younger, like I honestly believed that Lucifer appeared to me and told me that I'm the Antichrist, and I was going around telling people I was the Antichrist. Thankfully, those are the only two manic episodes that I've had, and like full blown manic episodes. And I hope it never happens again. I can't guarantee it won't, but I hope it doesn't. And I don't know. I That's all I have to say about that. Like, and for those of you who know someone who struggles with bipolar disorder and they have manic episodes or hypomanic episodes, the last thing you want to do with them is argue with them. That's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to argue with them. Don't tell them that what they're saying isn't true. Don't tell them that their grandiose delusions aren't true, because that could just trigger them into even more things. So that's the last thing. Though what you need to do is get them professional help as soon as possible. Like, call up their therapist if you have that right to be able to talk openly with their therapist. Um, do like get them to a hospital or something like that, or call up a professional like a pastor or someone to talk to them. Like, don't try and take it into your own hands and try and argue them down, because it's not gonna work. um and yeah, like it's really sad how there's so much taboo still going around mental illness. I think, honestly, like, it's 2016. Like, people should be educated on mental illness by now, but they're not. There's so much ignorance going around with mental illness. And I am happy that it is being talked about more, but it needs to continually be talked about more, because if it's not, then we're not going to make any progress in this area. Um, so yeah. Um, Make sure, if you know someone that struggles with bipolar disorder or any kind of mental illness, that you're around them, that you love them and you support them and you encourage them to continue to take their medication. That's another thing you don't want to do. You do not want to tell them to not take their medication, because they very well just might do that. Because most people with mental illness don't believe that they should be on medication anyway. So if you're telling them not to take their medication, then they're gonna be like, you know what, you're right, I don't need to take my medication, and then they're gonna throw it away, and then they're gonna spiral out of control. I mean, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, and I do appreciate all the people that have shown me love and support throughout the years, and that have been there for me, and that have actually took the time to understand where I'm coming from, and to understand what I'm like in each state: depression, hypomania, and manic. And these are the people that I would want around me if I'm hypomanic or manic, because they would know how to help me out the best. And I think everybody who struggles with any kind of mental illness needs those people around them to show them the kind of love and support that they need to have, and to help them out. So if you know someone that has mental illness, go show them some love and support right now after you get finished watching this video. That's how important it is. Alright? My name is David Sarche, and I approve this message.